And a lot to look forward to. Here it is, the first of those semi-finals, and it's a European classic from the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The defending European champions against France, who've now reached the semi-finals, at least in the last 3 World Cups. This is the front cover of L'Équipe today, saying the final dream. And that final dream is something that Julien has right now. And of course, it's completely unbiased from him.
Hang on a second. What's going on?
What's that shirt you're wearing today, Jules?
I mean, what else than the Karim Benzema, Karim the Dream, to wish good luck to my boys.
How are we feeling, Jules?
Oh, boy.
Pretty good. Sometimes I can get nervous. Ned knows too much about that. And when it's PSG or the national team, I get a bit nervous. But I don't know, today I've got a good feeling, which is probably not a good thing, but I've got a good feeling. I think this French team is special.
This French team is special, says Julien Laurent. OK, tell us a little bit what makes them special, and then we'll see if the boys can pick this apart.
I mean, I think the front four is obviously the most special thing about it. I think the whole process from Deschamps to have gone from a very defensive team that we saw 2 years ago at the Euros to this kind of version of a French team with Olise, which we've said before many times, has been a gift from the gods of football to just land on a plate for Deschamps and for France to be able to play and transform the style of play of this team. Dembélé, Ballon d'Or Dembélé, Mbappé in this kind of mood. The youth of Barcola, Odoué on the left-hand side, plus a depth in squad that we never really had of this caliber before. I think it's special, as we see on the graphic. This MOD, Minister of Destruction, I call them, being able to destroy any other defense from the opposition. I think it's quite special, and really, Spain might be too strong today, and they might be able to win whatever way. But if they do that, it's because they would have been very, very strong, especially defensively, because I do not see France not scoring today.
OK. Sounds like a solid argument to me. The Ministry of...
Destruction.
Ministry of Destruction.
OK, that's not going to catch on.
You could have said it in French. It might have sounded a bit cooler.
Oh, my gosh.
No T-shirts?
No, I don't.
No printed T-shirts
I don't think we're printing those shirts just yet.
Can Spain's backline keep this forward line out?
I don't think it's going to be about Spain's backline. It's far more important about their midfield. But regardless, and I think if we focus on France, there's no doubt that they are the best team in this tournament. And I actually think that France have been better than what we had expected them to be. As good as we thought they were going to be in this tournament, they have been better. You compare that to everybody else, including the last 3 teams that are involved in this semifinals, excluding France, those teams haven't been as good as we thought they would be. So Spain hasn't been as good as we thought they would be. They're in a semifinal of the World Cup, and I know I'm saying that. France have been better than we thought they would be, and I think the difference between France and Spain, I think, is much larger going into this game than we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the tournament. They were the top sort of favorites coming into the competition. We thought that this could have been a final, and we still feel that way. But I think that there is a separation between what the best level of France is right now and what the best level is for Spain. And that separation, I think, is, if you want to call it the Ministry of what again?
Destruction.
Yes, I think that's when you see the big-time difference between these two teams, in that you look at France and they have talent everywhere. And Michael Olise, without scoring a goal, still seems to be the best player on this team.
It's the 2 favourites, France just a little bit more so right now.
For me, yes. I thought France would win this tournament, and they've played that way from just about the opening whistle. The beauty of this France team, and Jules touched on it, is not just their talent, but also their depth. We're talking about France's top 4, but yet on our full screen, we put up 3 names. And the fact remains, it could be Barcola, it could be Doué, and there is absolutely no drop-off. And that kind of speaks to the talent, the depth, how Deschamps can change things around if and when is needed. And while you could make the argument that without question is their strengths, they have not conceded a goal in the knockout stage of this tournament. That speaks to a very good France team from back to front.
Yeah, for me, I've been leaning into France this whole tournament, basically. But it means that we forget about how good this Spanish side actually is. You know, they've not lost a game internationally, I think, for 30-plus matches.
Well, the Minister of Destruction, what about that?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. But it's been 30-plus matches, and the way that they can play, they can take out the sting of so many teams that they play against. And they have beaten France twice in the last 2 years. But I think Jules made a great point that Didier Deschamps deserves a ton of credit because they've gone from being a very defensive side to being one whereby their front line is one of the best that we've probably ever seen. And the way he's done that, I think the key is Michael Olise. I think the way that he plays that 10 position, and in these last 2 years, there's probably a link as well in terms of the way that PSG play with their front line, with Doués, with the likes of Dembele and so on, for it's hard work in both directions, but quality in terms of the attack. And with that in mind, I could see a game where Spain control the possession and it can force some of the French plays to come back in, but I don't want to reveal too much, but maybe we discuss this at Sunbox to come in a bit later.
Technology. What could possibly go wrong?
But for me, France's front four is incredible, but it's because of the work rate for the majority of them. I don't think Mbappe is necessarily part of that. But we saw, for example, with Mbappe winning a penalty the last game against Morocco, and it comes from Desiree Doué tackling Achraf Hakimi back in his defensive third, where he was for long periods whenever he needed to be. So yeah, I'm leaning into the French very much, but I just think this game, maybe it's a penalties occasion.
But to give credit to Didier Deschamps to make this team attacking, given the attacking talent, it's kind of like, if you turn defensive with this group of players, you might as well just walk out of the locker room right now and say goodbye to everybody.
Well, you say this, but other managers wouldn't necessarily put out a team that would be this attacking. But the fact that he has a bunch of attackers who are also very capable to defend, it works both ways.
Well, I know, but we're not going to give credit to Deschamps because this team
I'm going to give credit to Deschamps.
It's so good attacking-wise.
I'm giving credit to Deschamps.
This talent on the field, you better be good.
He could have done that in 2018, he could have done that in 21, could have done that in 2024, but he didn't. I'm giving him credit.
This front four of France it may be the best front four of France that they've ever had, ever, in the history of mankind. And so, yeah, you put them out there. They're your best players.
Well, even with them, the Spanish seem to be very confident ahead of this spot, saying, vamos a por la final. Basically, let's go on to the final. And it's a picture of
you really sold it, Kay.
On the front. It's okay, Ali. All your translation needs, I've got them here. Lamine Yamal, speaking about France, says, we have no fear. We have beaten them in the last 2 games. Well, there's been reaction to what Lamine Yamal has to say here. He's also waded in on it himself.
No. En ningún momento hemos sentido una falta de respeto. Yo conozco muy bien a Lamine, sé cómo es. Para mí es una muestra de confianza, lo hace siempre también con el Barça, confía mucho en sus virtudes, en las virtudes también del equipo donde juega. Así que nada, le veo también como motivación extra para él y ya está, nada más.
Me preguntaron a mí como si me daba miedo Francia, y yo dije que no, obviamente no. Somos los campeones de Europa y no nos da miedo ningún partido. Entonces, obviamente, como ha dicho Koundé, es fútbol.
España ha confirmado de ser el favorito. No quiero poner presión a Luis y su equipo porque él sabe también que la gente está esperando mucho de la España.
Sí tengo un recuerdo a mi gran amigo Joaquín Caparrós, que en estas circunstancias, cuando alguien te decía tanto halago, decía, al final, ¿tú crees que se presentarán? Pues exactamente. He dicho esto, que no vale para nada, el favorito o no favorito, no meter ninguna más presión. La presión es la responsabilidad que tenemos nosotros, con nosotros mismos, con nuestro país, con nuestra gente, nada más.
Vosotros mismos decís que no estoy a mi mejor nivel, entonces no tenéis que esperar nada de mí, pero estoy seguro que mañana va a ser un día especial.
Didier Deschamps can try it all he likes, Shaka, to say that France aren't the favourites here, but the bookies do have them as favourites going into this match.
Yeah, nice try, Didier, but nobody's buying it, and for good reason. France, I think, have shown themselves, and I stand by this, have shown themselves to be the best team in this tournament. Spain are just below that, as we've been discussing. I love so much about Lamine Yamal, what he has to say and how he has to say it. We don't fear them. We may respect them, but we don't fear them. And that's just how he is as a player, that's his personality, and that's needed for Spain going into this game, whether Spain are favourites or not, according to Deschamps.
Some might say, Jules, that he is a master of destruction. What stood out to you from what we just heard then from both sides?
Stop leading into that. Yeah.
You mean in terms of Lamine Yamal?
Just in terms of what stood out to you from what we just heard from both sides there.
I mean, one, I love the fact that Lamine Yamal came up for the press conference. Usually, I mean, quite often it's the captain coming or one of the most experienced players, especially at this stage of the tournament. It was his 19th birthday yesterday, and he came on the press conference because he's a big stage player. This is, as he said as well, we didn't show it, but he said this is the biggest game of my career so far, and I think he's right. It's huge, and I expect him to be very good today against Luka Ding. That's one of the keys of the game, for sure. I don't think in a game like this between two countries who know each other so well, that is a favourite or not, and I don't think it should matter anyway. What's interesting is back home, the debate right now is if this French team doesn't win this World Cup, considering, and I completely agree with Ali, that they are the best team of the last four, is this a failure? How big is a failure if they don't go and win this? So if they don't win today and don't beat England or Argentina in the final, which is probably not the right angle to see it, because I don't think it will be a failure if they don't win this World Cup. I think it will be a huge occasion missed, a huge opportunity that they would have missed because of the team that they have, the depth, everything, all the qualities that we mentioned. But this is a World Cup semi-final against a great team that are the European champions. So it'll be quite fascinating. I don't know if there's pressure really on either teams going into this tournament, but there's certainly matchups like the Ding v Lamine, like the Kubarsi v Mbappe or Laporte v Mbappe, a bit everywhere. Look at the midfield battle, and we're not sure if Fabian will start or if Pedri will start. And I'm sure the boys will talk about that midfield battle later on. But I think everywhere, this is what everybody would want to watch this game, probably more even than the England-Argentina game tomorrow.
In terms of the battle between these players, Jules, we've asked you to put together a combined 11, and I'm interested as to how many Spanish players make it into your French team. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, thanks again for the photo, but viewers are used to it
You're
now.
welcome.
I mean, the two fullbacks, for sure, because as we said, if there's one weak link in this French team is Koundé on the right and Ding on the left, and Cucurella and Porro, I think, have been fantastic in this tournament. Will they be as attacking today than they've been so far in the tournament? I don't think so, but still, they deserve to be there. Saliba, Upamecano, for me, every day ahead of Kubarsi and Laporte, same for Maignan over Unai Simon, even if Simon has only conceded one goal. And then I think Rabiot has been really underrated in this World Cup so far. He brings so much balance, so much physicality to the team. I just love him. And Rodri next to him, because Rodri has been, for me, Spain's best player so far and the best defensive midfielder in the World Cup. I had to put Lamine, even if he hasn't been at his best yet, and to the detriment of Désiré Doué. But that front four of Lamine, Mbappe, Dembele and Olise is pretty spectacular. The only one I was a bit torn between is Dani Olmo, because I think Dani Olmo is a special player and one of the most important players in the Spanish team, and I could not find him a way. I tried to say to producer P, let's go 4-1-4-1 and have Olmo and Olise central, Lamine and Dembele and Mbappe. He said, no, you're taking the mic now.
So 4, Ale, 4, is that fair? 4 Spain players?
That may be too many, actually. I think France has been not only much better than Spain in this tournament, they have been much better than everybody else. And so, honestly, I know why Jules includes Lamine Yamal, but given his performances in this tournament, and I'm guessing this combined 11 is from what they have done in this tournament, I don't think he quite earns a place on this team. If we were to talk about big picture outside of the tournament, then of course have Lamine Yamal in, have Pedri in. Pedri has underperformed, and look, it hurts me to say this, but Pedri hasn't been nearly as good as we expected him to be. If we were talking about big picture, usually in terms of their club level, then Pedri would be in this combined 11 as one of the best midfielders in the world. He hasn't been that. And Spain are going to need that from Pedri today, and are going to need a world-class performance from Lamine Yamal as well if they have any chance of winning this match.
Can't believe you left your son out.
No, it's not the first time.
Okay,
I left my original son out so that I could bring Pedri into the family, so I can do this interchangeably. No worries.
You can